what is this love of trucks, and people spend so much money and time and effort into building these beautiful looking trucks.
Having pride in their ride. I don't know, let's say 20 feet back, what's going to draw you in? What's catching the eye? So many different things people come up with just to add their personalized touch to it. I've had people scream at me before because they didn't get an award. We'll be 100% honest with you. Last year, we were overwhelmed with the turnout. We were expecting probably around 1,000 people last year, and I think we stopped counting at 4,000 because we couldn't keep up. And just the cost of everything for everybody, right? Not just trucking companies, but everybody. Is going up and everybody sees it, right? So
I just need 30 seconds of your time for two things. One, I want to thank everybody who watches the show and has subscribed to our channel. It does help us a lot. It's a free thing to do to subscribe or like our show, but it does help us a lot on our end. Secondly, if you have not done so far, please join the 31% of the people that come regularly to watch this show. And if you enjoy the show and you tell us that you enjoy the show, this is going to make us even do better. We do this show for the love of trucks and trucking, and we genuinely feel truckers and overall trucking industry needs a lot of attention. And we do this on our own. There is nobody involved in this show. And if you help us, we don't need anybody. And we want to thank you once again for watching and just supporting us in this journey. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Welcome to the Truck Stop Show. Today we're joined by Jen, who has nothing to do with trucking. He's not a truck driver. He does not run a trucking company, but she is one of the organizers of the Woodstock Truck Show. So she's here to tell us, because the show is about to come at the end of May, and we'll talk to her about what happens in the truck show and what is the motivation behind the truck show and a whole bunch of things about the truck show. So that it is the Truck Stop Show, but a whole bunch of things about the Woodstock Truck Show. So Jen, thank you for being here.
thank you for having me.
So tell us, what is Woodstock Truck Show?
The Woodstock Truck Show is a truck show. It's located in Burford. So I know a lot of people say, oh, why is it called the Woodstock Truck Show if it's in Burford? But it's because we raise money for Special Olympics, as well as another foundation called the Woodstock District Developmental Society. So they have community homes for adults living with disabilities, developmental delays. So we give back to the Woodstock community in that way. That's a charity.
For those who do not know what truck show is, how would you explain it to them?
A truck show is all about community to me. So it brings in people all across North America for us, for our show anyway. There's other shows where it brings them across Canada, across the province, whatever it may be, but it brings people together. And it, you see people that you don't normally see, and you come and you show people what you do for a living, the truck that you drive. And a lot of people take pride in what they drive, right? So it gives them that opportunity to showcase what they have, what they've been building. There's a lot of truck builders out there too, right? So they want to showcase what they have. Or, there's people who make products for to clean trucks, let's say, and polish. They want to show off that stuff. So it's really just a way to showcase what you do, no matter what your area is in the trucking world. And it just brings everybody together. And usually it's for a good cause. 99% of truck shows in Ontario that I know of typically have a charity behind them. So it's usually to raise money for something good.
And it's not just for truck drivers or people who have something to do with trucking, right?
Right, yeah. So it brings in a crowd too, right? So in Burford, a lot of the locals come out and they like to see the trucks. A lot of them, they don't get that opportunity to see some of these trucks that are local to them. So for example, last year we had a truck come from Indiana. I'm trying to remember where they're from, but yes, it's Indiana. Called Notorious PIG, and it had won the Mid-America Truck Show a couple years ago. So a lot of locals want to come out and see that truck because it's not a truck they'll ever get to see again in their lifetime. So it draws in a huge crowd of just people that also want to help raise money for the show and help raise money for our charities, but also to see things that they normally wouldn't get to see.
So these are like trucks. So I know this, okay? So I'm not asking because I don't know this. I know somewhat of, but I'm asking for my general audience. So these are the trucks that are built specially, or they have like special stuff on them, or like the looks or the motor, or what is it?
Everything.
Mhm.
So you've got trucks. For example, my husband builds our trucks for their company. So he does them up. He puts all the parts on them. He makes the stainless steel deck plates himself. Sometimes they get painted. Sometimes they get wrapped. Sometimes they leave them stainless. There's so many options, right? But yeah, all these trucks are typically customized. And don't get me wrong. There's definitely people that show up and it's just a regular standard stock truck, and that's okay too. They're there for a good time. They're there to have fun. They might not want to enter the show and shine, and that's okay. But it definitely draws in a crowd of people that, Class 8 Coach Works, they build trucks. So that would be somebody that would want to showcase what they have. They're a sponsor for us this year. Same with Chrome Supply Warehouse. They also are a sponsor for us this year. So they'll want to bring a truck to showcase to see what they build. And then Chrome Shop Canada, same concept. So everyone kind of has a different way of building a truck and what their mind and what their vision is. To me, it's a work of art, right?
Mhm.
So it's their vision and what they brought together and brought to life.
An average person thinks trucks are out there just to haul loads.
That's right.
So kind of, I want you to shed some more light on what is this love of trucks, and people spend so much money and time and effort into building these beautiful looking trucks,
Yeah.
right? And then it's kind of explain us like where does it come from?
That's a loaded question, I feel like. Some people just really have such a passion for having pride in their ride, right? That's really what it comes down to. I think about my husband when I first met him, and he just had so much love for the industry, but also, he wants to look good going down the road. And same as, why does someone buy a Camaro? Why does someone buy a Corvette, right? They love the look of them. They like to work on them, take care of them and clean them and all that stuff that kind of goes along with it, right? But there's just so much to it. People love to take things to the next level. So, for example, when we went to Matt's 2 years ago,
Which is what?
Mid-America Truck Show.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a truck show that's in Louisville.
Mhm.
They have it every year, and it's a pretty prestigious show. So we took one of the Skillex trucks there. I actually took 2 months off my regular job.
And that's your trucking company.
That's our trucking company.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
So Jan, I should make this clear. So Jan has nothing to do with trucks, but she's
Yes.
married into a trucking company family.
Family, yeah.
So they own a trucking company in Woodstock. What's the name of the company again?
It's called Skillex.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's based in Woodstock.
Based in Woodstock, yeah.
This is how she's engaged in this show, the Woodstock Truck Show.
You're right, yeah. So Skillex has been a sponsor of Woodstock Truck Show pretty much since the beginning. But yeah, that's kind of the connection there. So it was pretty easy to.
So you're telling us about the show in Louisville.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Skillex brought a truck to the show in Louisville 2 years ago, and there was so much interesting things to see there, just in terms of ideas that people have come up with. So Troy Massey was a really big truck builder then; he still is a really big one. But he had brought a truck called Bocephus. So everyone wants to see, the details of that truck down to the engraving on the nut covers, stuff like that. Like there's so many different things people come up with just to add their personalized touch to it, right? So it's just a matter of like competing against each other and who kind of comes up with the next best thing, right? So
Mhm.
we went this year, and this year we got to see some pretty cool builds in the build off. One of them was J&L Trucking, and their build off truck was wild. Just their interior, the exterior, just
How did it look like? Just in your own words.
it was, gosh, how do I even explain that without showing you a picture of it? Well, obviously it's done front to back, right? Like
Right.
it wouldn't be a working truck, so it doesn't have the ability.
It's not a working truck?
That one, no, it's built to, eventually I think it will be a working truck,
Right.
but when they build these, they only get a certain amount of time to build them. I think it's 6 months, but don't quote me.
Mhm, mhm.
So they have 6 months to start and finish. And if they choose to work the truck after, that's obviously up to them. But yeah, they're built from that point of time, and they're crazy. Honestly, they're wild. So one truck actually had the fuel cap. You had to open one of the lights on the back of the bunk, and that's where the fuel goes in. Like it was pretty cool. Like there's just little stuff like that, right? The J&L truck, their whole display, even like they had a huge display there, and a lot of it is about the curb appeal, right? When you look at that truck and it's set up from, I don't know, let's say 20 feet back, what's going to draw you in? What's catching the eye, right? So for them, it was their entire truck. Their truck was beautiful. Their flooring was beautiful. They had this beautiful like sitting area kind of in the back. It looked like a mini shed, and they had a time-lapse video going of when they started building the truck to when they finished it. So you could see everything that they were doing, the amount of people that were working on it, stuff like that. So those types of trucks, like they're just out of this world, honestly. It's so hard to explain without seeing
it. Is it a competition at the truck? So focusing on the trucks, the truck show in Woodstock. So let's say 5 people bring their. Is this the competition there? Like there's judges present there.
Correct. Yep. So originally,
first of all, so how many days is the truck show?
It's 2 days.
And what dates?
Friday, May 29th, and Saturday, May 30th.
It starts on the Friday and finishes on the Saturday.
Yeah.
So what happens is people would start bringing trucks from, I guess, the week before kind of thing?
No, typically people start coming Thursday kind of afternoon to park them. Usually we ask our fleets to come a little bit early just so we can get everybody situated and, make sure we have the room that we need for them. But usually,
and how does it look like? It's like an open field?
It's at the fairgrounds in Burford. So it's kind of 2 separate open fields. But yes, it's an open field. It's around a track as well. It's just a dirt track. We have truck pulls there as well. So that's kind of happening on the Saturday, but it's essentially an open field, and
then everybody brings their truck in, and then there's so is it there's category there, or like it's just overall, like let's say there's 100 trucks, and we're gonna pick the best truck out of 100?
No, so how it works, I've actually chosen the awards. So there's different classes. So you could do best of show bobtail, best of show combo. We have best specialty, best tow truck. What else? Best multi-axle, best antique, best paint, best graphics, best lights, that kind of stuff. And everyone automatically gets entered into every category. They don't get to choose which one.
Right.
Just because it gets a little bit more complicated that way, especially when you have 300 trucks coming in. You don't want to have to look and see, okay, this person's not in this category, but they are in this one. So everyone gets entered automatically, and then our judges choose based on that.
And where do the judges come from?
So I handpicked the judges this year, actually.
So what's your position again in the organization?
So I'm the head organizer and also the treasurer. So I deal a lot with the sponsorships. I'm kind of I don't want to say I'm the face of the truck show because there's so many of us on the board that have so many different roles, and each role is important in their own way.
Right.
But I do a lot of the networking in terms of getting sponsorships, getting people to the show, and then dealing with the money behind the scenes.
So you pick the judges?
I picked the judges this year.
And where do they come from?
So the last couple of years, we've, how, well, I guess you probably don't know how truck shows go, I guess. But we have in the past had issues where, people have said, well, how can that person pick a truck if they don't know anything about trucking? So at one point we did have a couple judges that were just the musicians that were coming for the concerts. So then I obviously stepped in. I'm like, okay, maybe we should make this a little more professional. So this year I really kind of dug in deep, and I thought, let's choose people that are non-biased and in the trucking industry and know what it's like to build a truck, what it takes to build a truck, and just has that eye for detail. Eye for detail is the biggest component, right?
I can totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they are from the area?
Yes, some of them are, some of them aren't.
Right.
So I'll tell you who they are. We have Byron from the Chrome Shop in Woodstock. He's actually just up the road from the Skillick shop, but they have the Chrome Shop there. So he has lots of customers that are local to the area. We have Brett Aki from Chrome Supply Warehouse in Belleville. We have Charlie Thomas. He actually works for Dickerson Custom Trucks in the U.S. And then we have a special guest, actually, my friend Mads. She's coming from Australia. So she does PPF for trucks in Australia there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been friends for a couple of years now, but I've actually never met her. So this is going to be the first time I get to meet her. But we know so many of the same people, and there's a lot of crossover there, right? And so she's got the same eye for detail.
Right.
Who else do we have? Oh, sorry. Jeff Battler from 12 Gauge. They're a sponsor. So 12 Gauge is actually making the trophies this year. Thank you.
They're based in Guelph, right?
Yes, they're based in Guelph. Yes. Very nationally known, though. Jeff is an amazing guy. Huge heart, too, always willing to help out charities. But he's offered to help us with he's going to make the trophies this year for us.
So they're building trophies from the scratch?
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, they're going to be custom this year. But he's also going to be kind of partially a judge. So when I first met him in 2018, he made trophies for a different truck show. And my husband won one called the Iron Man. So the Iron Man is named after Jeff's dad. Jeff's dad was really into customizing things, doing things himself, and just figuring it out himself. There's a little bit more to that story. I want to leave it up to Jeff to kind of expand a little bit more on that when he gives out the trophy. at the show. But my husband actually won that trophy in 2018.
Oh, really?
And that meant so much to him. So I asked Jeff if he'd bring that back and then choose someone based on that. So I'm excited.
So these judges, are they going for all the categories?
Yes. Some of them are specific only to some. So for example, Brett from Chrome Supply Warehouse, he'll do a lot of the best use of chrome style ones, or paint and graphics, lights, stuff like that. But they do all kind of go around together and do the same. So the idea is that, we have people from different demographics of the world as well. So we can tell if there's any bias, right? So if, let's say, somebody that's local to us, Byron from the Chrome Shop, it's one of his customers. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna give that guy a 10 out of 10 because he buys stuff from me." That's right. Then someone else gives that truck a 2 out of 10. We're gonna be like, well, maybe we need someone else to go out and rejudge this again, right? Byron would never do that, but we just make sure there's no bias across the board, and away we go.
So now, in order to enter a truck in, do they pay some sort of entry fees?
Yes. So they register online. You can also pay the entry fee at the gate, but the problem is that our space is very limited and we've become very, very popular. So we have registration online on our website through Ticket Scene. So they purchase their registration there.
How much is it?
$60.
Oh,
yep.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and that includes that's a whole weekend pass. So that includes their concert both nights, Friday and Saturday night. We have country music concerts, and then
I was getting to that. So there's the concert in the evening time, and there's the truck show. So it's basically the whole city is going to be involved in this pretty much. Yeah. And it's going to be a big event for Burford, right?
It is. Yeah, it's a huge event for Burford. Last year was our first year having it in Burford, and we had so many of the locals come up to us and thank us for bringing the event.
Historically, it was done some other place?
Historically, yeah. Before it was actually originally, it was in the old 230 truck stop back in 2000.
230 exit.
Exit, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
so truck drivers know that.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's at the truck stop in Woodstock. It's the only one that's there now aside from Nick's, but the big one, basically. And it started there in 2014. And then Scott,
that was the first year?
That was the first year, was 2014, yeah. So Scott Verbruggen is the guy who started the truck show back then. Same charities the whole way through. But then eventually he moved it to the Woodstock Fairgrounds. And then last year was our first year moving it to the Burford Fairgrounds.
And what's the reason of moving?
Oh, geez. Honestly, a lot of it came down to location and just people knowing where we are. Also, the Burford Fairgrounds were amazing to work with, just the people behind the scenes, how helpful they were. And it also allowed us to combine 2 counties, right? So Oxford County, we've always been in Oxford County. I originally from Brant County. I actually went to elementary school in Burford and then high school in Brantford. So I know that area as well too. So we had the ability to amalgamate the 2 counties and just kind of maximize our show that way. And Brant County really did show up for us. They truly did. Oxford County, a lot of people just didn't know we were there based on the demographic of the fairgrounds and just where its location was. It was hard for people to know we were there, but Burford was a lot different in that sense. And just given all the houses that are near it in Burford and just you'd have to drive through Burford. It's such a small town vibe, right? So
I know Burford is a very pleasant place.
Yeah. So to have a truck show and a concert there, they were so excited.
It's a farming community.
Farming community, yeah. I mean, I grew up farming community too, right? So like that's right up our alley. And as soon as I thought, you know what, we should move it. Burford was the best location we could possibly think of.
Now, Jen, so $60 is to enter.
Yep.
And then, so that's one source of money. Right. What is the other source of money you guys have? So the sponsorship is the second one?
Sponsorship is the second one. We do have a lot of sponsors all across the board. Our biggest sponsor this year is Tirecraft. So all of their locations are coming together across Ontario to actually give us a diamond sponsorship. So that's our highest sponsorship tier. Of course, ScaleX, Contrans is also is there as well. They've been there since the beginning. They're amazing to deal with. And then a new one for us this year is Kenworth as well. Those are our top sponsors this year. So a lot of our money comes from them, but it also comes from people coming through the door to pay for their entry into the truck show.
So anybody who wants to attend this truck show, there's an entry fee for them too?
You gotcha. Yep. So there's 2 options. So There's a weekend pass, so that gives you an all-access pass to the concerts and the truck show itself, $50 for the weekend.
Or for one person?
For one person,
Right.
yeah. There is camping available as well, but that's
So you can camp there?
you can, yeah. That's another fee on top of that, though.
So now you're
Yeah.
So it's not just the truck show. There's
No.
it's like a 2-day event.
It's almost like a festival, honestly, but it's not. We're not. I wouldn't.
There's
call it a
music. There's trucks. You can camp there. Of course, there's an entry fee, but is there food there too?
Of course,
we'll get to that anyway. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So
I just got excited.
I totally understand. A truck show is gonna be excited too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so on the Friday, if you just want to see just the truck show, it's $10. But if you want the truck show and the concert, it's $30. Saturday we have the truck pulls. So it's $20 to see the truck show and the pulls together.
On top of the entry fee?
No. So that's just the entry fee for Saturday is $20.
Okay.
Yep. Or if you want to be there for the concert too, it's $30 for the day. So either way, it's $30 per day, or it's a little bit cheaper if you only want to see the trucks on the Friday because we don't have the pulls that day, right? So the pulls are what make it $20 on the Saturday as opposed to the $10.
Wow.
And it's all 100% to the charity. We're 100% nonprofit. None of us on the board take any kind of profit.
So there's no pay or any of that stuff?
Nothing. No. It's
Every single penny that comes in goes to the charity.
Exactly. Yep. It's all volunteer. Everything down to just little stuff. Like there's a lot of little stuff that we pay for ourselves, fuel to get around, to go to the sponsors and stuff, collect, checks and things like that. We pay for that ourselves. We don't take anything from the charity at all.
This is a lot of so how many people are coming in? You expecting?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I will be 100% honest with you. Last year we were overwhelmed with the turnout. We were expecting probably around 1,000 people last year. And I think we stopped counting at 4,000 because we couldn't keep up. We actually ran out of food last year at one point, and we had to beg Tito's and Burford to bring us pizzas so we could keep up. And they were bringing us 35 pizzas every hour on the hour, and we still couldn't keep up. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was wild.
So do you have food vendors there?
We do. Yep. We have more food trucks coming in this year. Last year we had 2 food trucks. They sold out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we obviously loaded that up a little bit more this year. So we've got some mac and cheese person, grilled cheese. We've got meat candy coming from London. Couple drink specialty places. So Citrus Mama is one. Trying to think off the top of my head who else. I have to apologize if I forgot any, but yeah, we also sell hamburgers and hot dogs ourselves, and that also helps us generate money. So the Verbruggen family, so that's Scott's family, they've always run the barbecue. So they run the barbecue, and we just make a little bit more on the hot dogs and hamburgers, and that goes 100% back to the charity as well.
So how many trucks are so far registered so far?
130.
So that's just the trucks, and of course there's going to be a couple people, at least with one truck, right? So that's about 500 people right there.
Yeah.
Or give and take, right?
Yeah.
And then if you expect 1,000 people and 4,000 show up,
how do you handle that? I'm projecting this year to honestly probably be around 8,000. I think it was more than 4 last year. Like I said, we just lost count, but I'm expecting probably around 8.
So how many people are involved in organizing this whole thing? Like all the volunteers on the ground, people checking in, checking out, all that stuff. How many?
That's a loaded question. So our board consists of 9 people. Volunteers the day of the shows and stuff. We have WDDS brings out some of their people.
And what is this again?
Woodstock District Developmental Society.
So this is the organization that gets the money ultimately.
You got
some money, right?
Yep. So they bring out some of the people that they support there, and they help with the front gate. So there's probably they take shifts. So I would say there's about 20 people there, give or take. We have lots of volunteers from Burford as well. There's probably another 10 to 15. And of course, all of our sponsors and the fleets that show up, it honestly takes community to put it all together, right? Everybody helps in their own way. If I'm being 100% honest, probably 50 to 60 people the days of the show just to pull it all off.
It's a huge event. It goes on for 2 days. People camp there.
Yep.
There can be a whole bunch of security issues and a whole bunch of safety issues and, So how do you manage all that stuff?
So we do hire security. We hired a local company out of Burford to do our security. They've actually always done our security. Just we're thankful that they're more local this time. So we have them there pretty much 24/7, but particularly overnight when, people are away, the cat's away, the mice will play, right? So we just make sure everything is good that way. Last year we did have the OPP come in as well on the Saturday night, just to kind of, keep everybody in line and make sure there's no funny business going on. Drinking and driving, of course, is our number one concern. So we do have bartenders that know when to stop serving. And us ourselves too, we know when someone's at their limit. So it's also our job to ensure that people aren't, doing the things they shouldn't be doing, right? So we have eyes everywhere, essentially, especially with our additional volunteers. We give them that job. I've given people a specific job to, go through the concert, make sure that everybody's okay, that kind of stuff. So
Jen, how far ahead do you guys start planning? Because this is a huge event, to my understanding.
So
throughout the year?
Yeah. So May 31st, we'll be planning for 2027.
Wow.
We'll start planning.
And how often you guys have meetings and stuff?
Usually once a month, up until about 3 months before the event. Then we try doing biweekly. Of course, there's 9 of us, so our schedules don't always line up. So sometimes it's a little bit less frequent than that, depending. But it's fairly.
When you guys meet for planning, what kind of conversations do you guys have?
Oh man. Well, it's no surprise that Scott and I are both very bullheaded and stubborn, so we argue a lot. But
sorry, who?
Scott Verbruggen. So that's the guy
that's the founder of the show.
You got it, yeah. So we argue like brothers.
Is he a truck driver too?
Nope, but they own Verbruggen Trucking out of Dorchester. So his dad owns it, and him and his family run it as well.
So it's another trucking company?
Yeah, he might have drove at one point. I can't totally remember off the top of my head, but they have a trucking company, so he's not unfamiliar with trucking at all. Yeah. But yeah, our meetings are usually like kind of delegating, like who's taking care of what. So who's taking care of, the truck pulls this year. So we have 2 people delegated for that. We have my brother Tyler and Chris, who's actually part of the fairgrounds, Burford Fairgrounds. Who's taking care of the raffle and the silent auction. We have Sarah from Peterbilt who does that. We just kind of delegate, right? And it's a lot of just following up, like, hey, did you hear back from this person? Have you heard back from this sponsor? Stuff like that. And then just figuring out logistics and what worked last year or what didn't work last year. How do we change it? How do we make it better? Do we need more porta potties this year? How many more do we need? Where should we put them? Like, there's so many small details that people don't think about that go into it. And I'm one of those people that's very detail oriented. So just down to little things like when I'm doing the registrations online, like should I put camping with the tickets? Should I not put camping with the tickets?
So there's an additional cost for camping?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And how much is that?
Oh, $40, I believe. I believe it's 40, yeah. But last year we ran into the problem where people were only purchasing the entry into the truck show, not the weekend pass, but wanting to purchase camping with it. So we've had to kind of think outside the box and find a way to utilize Ticket Scene to do that. Ticket Scene's, where we sell the tickets and stuff. And you have to kind of think outside the box in terms of how to make it logistically function.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the most amount of money you guys have collected in a year?
Last year was our record. Last year we did just over $100,000.
$100,000.
$100,000.
And that's after, like, this is the money that's
after expenses.
Put aside.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's after, the fee for the fairgrounds is paid, the porta potties are paid, like all that kind of stuff.
Are the musicians paid too?
The musicians are paid. Some of them do donate their time. They do obviously, some of them will discount for us because they know it's a charity.
Right.
I'd say most of them do, to be honest. But we still have to pay for the fee to have the stage, sound system, stuff like that. That all costs money, right? So that 100,000 is after all of those expenses are paid.
And how many musicians do you have come in this year?
This year we have 2 on Friday night. We have JPK Band, who's doing a Tragically Hip tribute, and then we have Dry County. Dry County is actually local to Burford. My brother grew up with some of the guys that are in the band and whatnot, and bringing them in last year was amazing. The concert was insanity last year for Dry County. Yeah. It'd be just because they're local, and it's nostalgic for the locals too, right? So it was a lot of fun. And then Saturday this year we have, I gotta think about it. We have Paige Routledge, Rob Fitzgerald, Cody Robinson. He's actually, I believe, from either Dorchester or Innerkip. Don't quote me. But we met him last year. He works for Sunbelt Rentals. And we told him about the event. Actually, while we were picking up fencing for the event last year, Scott was talking to him. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to do the event next year. So we reached out to him. But he's amazing. He's actually like a Luke Combs mini, down to the Red Solo Cup. He's so good. And then we have the Abrams again this year. Last year they played at the Woodstock Truck Show as well. And people begged us to bring them back because they were so good. They put on such a good show and the vibe in the room was just wild. So we brought them back again this year.
This is such a moral cause that you guys collect the money and give it to the charities.
Yeah.
And give it to these organizations that are helping people with special needs, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
So now, what do you think this truck show is leaving an impact on the community there present?
So this was actually a really large topic last year. So the community themselves, we weren't sure what the outcome was going to be because it's a new event. The community is small and our event is large.
Because you guys moved last year.
Right. Yeah. So we were a little worried about the neighbors. We didn't want to upset the neighbors and stuff like that. We tried to make sure we were respectable and everything that comes along with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, we had so many people in the community thank us for bringing it there because we sold places out. The businesses downtown have never seen so much business in one night, one day, one weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people who own the Log House, which is the restaurant there, they were comping people's meals at one point just as a thank you for coming.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was very touching to see and very heartfelt in terms of the impact we truly did have. The grocery store, even we sold the grocery store out of pretty much all their fries and their burgers, and we couldn't believe the turnout, right? So we're running back and forth to the trip to the grocery store, and then once we sold them out, we're running back and forth to Costco 100 times. Like it was wild. But even Home Hardware there, we went to Home Hardware to if we needed anything, right? So anything down to garbage bags. We're running out of garbage bags at one point, so we ran down there like. We just brought a lot of business and traffic to the community, and they were very overwhelmed and very thankful for that. So,
Jen, you've been involved for several years now with this organizing this.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges you guys face?
Oof, that's a good question. Some of the challenges that we face, I guess, would be keeping everybody happy. It's really hard to please everybody, especially when awards are involved, when you have certain sponsors involved. It can be a little bit challenging, right? So this person wants to be parked beside this person, and this company wants to be beside this company, and they have this many combos coming, which is the truck and trailer, but they have this many bobtails, which is just the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard to navigate that and park them where they want to be parked and keep them happy. We really have to come to terms with the fact that we can't keep everybody happy when it comes to parking them, and that's okay, but we do our best. And honestly, I'd say probably 95% of the drivers are okay with that. The other 5%, we do our best, right? Like we just explain to them that that's what it is.
And how do unhappy people react?
I've had people scream at me before because I didn't park them beside their buddy, and I promised them that and whatnot. And you know what? I always tell them, we will do our best, show up together. If you don't show up together, I can't promise anything. As people are coming in, right? Like it's really hard to navigate holding one single space for somebody and then starting to park trucks after that, especially when you don't know exactly what it is that they're bringing.
Yeah.
Right. So that can be a little bit of a challenge in itself.
So let's say there's 130 trucks, you said?
Last year we had 230.
Yeah, so this year so far 130?
We have 130 registered, but that's not including the fleets and the sponsorships that people are coming.
And when they start showing up on the Thursday of the 28th, right it is?
Yep.
And then, so you have some people present there that are sort of telling them where to park?
Yep.
And then some people have an agenda parking beside each other because they're friends or whatever,
That's
right?
Yep.
And these people sleep there in the bunks, right?
Yep. Yeah. Some do, some don't though. Like, and that's okay. Some, their family or spouse or whatever will drive a vehicle separately, and that's okay too. But yeah, some definitely sleep in their trucks for the weekend. Yeah.
And how far do the people come from?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I love that you asked me that. Last year, our furthest person was from Texas.
Texas?
Yep.
What is a Texas person doing in Canada?
I know. Hey, you know what? So like I said, we'll go back to, Skillex doing the show circuit when we had built the Joker truck, which is the purple and green truck.
And you name so truck drivers name their trucks.
We actually named it Why So Serious because it has the Why
because
So
of the movie?
Serious. Yeah, it has the Joker from the movie on the back. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and it has it's got that whole theme all the way through it.
And each name has a story behind it.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
What's the funniest name you've heard?
Ooh, I don't know if I can say it.
Sad.
Cream Dream is probably my
Cream Dream?
Cream Dream, yeah, and it was a cream colored truck. Yeah.
Right.
There's been a bunch, honestly. They're always unique to their own story, right? And usually, like you said, there's a story behind them and they mean something to the driver. So I do enjoy really listening to what they came from. Because everyone has their own history, right? So it's pretty neat. But anyway, yeah, when we did the show circuit with that truck, we met a lot of people along the way. Daryl is our driver of that truck, and he went to many shows that year. Obviously, we tagged along to probably, I think, 80% of them, but there's some that we didn't go to. But we had that opportunity to really connect and network with other people. So those people become family, and that's why people love truck shows so much, because you get to see these people that you don't get to see all that often. But it's like you've never had any time in between when you do see them again. It's really nice because everyone's got lives, right? And that's just one thing that they are able to connect with, because everyone's so busy, especially going different directions on the road, right? So when we met all these people along the way to these different shows that we went to, we invited them to our show, and they were very happy to come. Some of them had never been to Canada before. Some of them actually had to apply for a passport just to come to Canada. Multiple of them, actually. But yeah, we had some from Texas, Florida, Robbins, Tennessee. Some of our really great friends, the Couch family, came from Robbins, Tennessee, for us to come up. And
anybody from out west?
Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah. So we have Evan from Time to Shine. He actually parks our trucks. He's one of our sponsors as well, and he helps me with the awards and just making sure the show is running. But we had Cy from DSD Transport come. So that's, I think, the furthest west. This year we have BTS Lighting coming from Alberta, and the furthest east we have coming is Forsyth Trucking from, I believe it's New Brunswick. Yeah, we've met them a couple times. We actually saw them again at Matt's, but. Yeah, people come from all over, honestly, all over the U.S., all over Canada, just to come to the show.
Have you ever had somebody just get so mad and leave?
Yes. Yes, they were.
Tell me that story, please, Jen.
I don't know if I can, Allie.
You don't have to name anybody. Just tell me what exactly happened.
A lot of it is just people that are mad that they didn't get an award.
What?
Yeah.
So they don't trust the judge then in that case?
They just believe that the truck won. They felt they were better than. That happened to us last year, actually, and the year before that. But that. So
you're saying it happens every year?
Not every year.
Hopefully it doesn't happen this year.
It really doesn't happen every year. I would say that, but it definitely, there's always the odd one.
Do you try to talk to these people?
Yes, to a point though, right? A lot of the times they've already got it in their head. There's no reasoning with them. They feel that theirs is the best, and that's it.
That's well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't change their mind.
You can't. Yeah. So why bother? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I do try to, explain certain things to people, and it's for a charity at the end of the day. It's not that serious, right? Like,
well, to them it is, because they put so much effort into that,
so actually, I'm going to retract that for a second. It is serious. And I will say that knowing full well how much money goes into building these trucks and how much what the downtime costs these companies, right? So I will take that back and say it is serious when it comes down to that kind of stuff. But sometimes the way that people act when they don't win, they forget that at the end of the day, it is for charity, right? So, but people take pride in their ride, like I said. So, that's their baby. That's their home outside their home, right? And they put so much love and effort into it that they want to be recognized for that. And I do my best to recognize every single person.
So do you deal with all these issues as a...
Yeah.
So like when there's a problem, where's Jen? Is that how it goes?
Pretty much, yeah. I deal with 99% of the issues.
Truck drivers are special people.
They are.
Well, you're married to one.
I am. I am married to one. You're not wrong. They all have different personalities. You just really have to know how to deal with different types of personalities. But they are special people, and I am honestly incredibly thankful for the type of people that they are, because I will say that the trucking community and everything that they stand for, they have big hearts. Everybody wants to see everybody else succeed, no matter what, especially when it comes to charity. They are some of the most giving people when it comes to charities, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for them. And they just put so much heart and soul into it, and we're so thankful for that. Like they don't have to take the time off to polish their truck. They don't have to put as much money into it that they do, but they do it because they want to, but also because they know that it puts on a show for our charities and it helps bring people in too. So.
Jen, before you married your husband, did you have anything to do with trucks in your life?
No, I came from farming, actually.
So no trucks around?
No, it's a funny story. I tell people this all the time that before I met my husband, I couldn't tell you the difference between a Peterbilt and a Volvo. I truly couldn't. I will admit that.
You have come a long way.
I have. You know what? I really
You were
have.
talking about chrome jobs, and you were talking about
Yeah.
the trailer, the bobtail,
So I
and
actually help my husband in the shop occasionally now, right? Like
right.
I've really invested in learning because I want to learn and I find it interesting and intriguing and it's just something that I enjoy and I have passion for what my husband also has passion in for.
Mhm.
So, just learning the new exhaust system for the 2027 X15 Cummins, like stuff like that. Like I'm a nerd that way and I want to
There's too
learn,
much
but I
detail
also
now.
want to help,
Yeah, yeah,
I want to help where I can and if I can alleviate any stress from him too, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been an adventure and I'm grateful for every ounce of learning that I have been able or every ounce of learning I have been able to
Mhm.
take in. So,
Mhm. Any craziest moment in the show in the past years?
oof. Mhm. Craziest moment. Oh man. I feel like there's a couple.
Pick the best.
I know. Craziest moment, craziest moment. You know what? I'm gonna pick my favorite moment. Not
Mhm.
necessarily the craziest, but my favorite moment was actually when I got to do the Special Olympics Award last year. So last year we introduced an additional award called the Special Olympics Award, and there's a guy named Chris, and Chris has competed in the Special Olympics before. He's actually why Scott started the show many years ago.
Mhm.
Um, and he's just a great guy. He's just always so happy-go-lucky and just, happy to be there, right? And,
Mhm.
we added this award for him because he's really our why, and
Mhm.
particularly Scott's why, but
Mhm.
he's also us too, of course. We love him with all of our heart. And, I got to go around with him last year and look at all the trucks and just see his face light up in different situations, and my favorite was when he got to actually choose the truck that he did choose. So Phil Couch from Tennessee,
Mhm.
him and his wife Carrie came up, and they're very passionate about Special Olympics as well, and people with developmental disabilities and things. And I actually didn't know this till
Mhm.
afterwards, but Chris went up, and he's looking at the truck. We checked out every single truck, by the way, like every single one. And this was only 20 minutes into our adventure,
Mhm.
and he was so good with Chris and just let him, pull the Jake, sit in the seat, touch all the things, push all the
Right.
buttons, see all the lights, like
Mhm.
was so good with him. He was probably one of the only drivers that actually gave him an experience, not
Mhm.
just said hello or,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. How are you, Chris? That actually gave him that experience.
Mhm.
Um, and I will never forget the tears in his eyes and just the gratefulness that he had to be able to experience something so special, and that somebody that he didn't know previously allowed them to, allowed him to sit in their truck, and he
Mhm.
was just so happy, and that was
Mhm.
probably the most heartwarming thing I've ever experienced for the truck show.
Mhm.
Not necessarily crazy, I would say, but
But of course,
but
it has
it
a
was beautiful.
value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a lot of value, and I hold it
Yeah.
very near and dear to my heart. I actually almost cried giving that award out
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
stage.
Right.
It was beautiful.
So this is probably the most positive show I've done about trucking, about trucks. It is a truck stop show. We touch upon almost everything. We try to, like touch upon everything.
Yeah,
And there's a whole bunch of negativity about happening around trucks, right?
there
And
is. Yeah,
trucking,
yeah,
so are you aware of any of that stuff?
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you belong to a trucking
That's
family
right.
now,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So how do you see trucking? You're part of the trucking family, but you're
Mhm.
not a truck driver,
Right,
or you're not in the business.
right.
So how do you so do you have any opinions about trucking at this moment?
Oh, that's
Is it getting better? Is it getting not? So I'm sure you have conversations with your husband too, right?
I just wanna be very careful how I word this.
Yeah. Well, you can.
I know. Yeah, of course. I mean, we have conversations and stuff. My opinion about trucking is obviously it's not what it used to be.
Right.
I wasn't around, in the early 2000s or even late 1990s,
Hmm.
when they say that was the prime of trucking. I wasn't around for that. So I never got to experience that firsthand. I only get to listen to their stories and live through
Hmm.
them vicariously for that kind of stuff. But I do see, the price of things going up, especially with the tariffs, right? That's a trickle effect. My sister-in-law Kirsty and I actually had this conversation this morning. Um, and just the cost of everything for everybody, right? Not just trucking companies, but everybody is going up, and everybody sees it, right? So our economy obviously changes, and when our economy changes, the trucking economy changes. It all ebbs and flows.
Mhm.
But I can't say that I have any negative, feelings towards it. Of course, that's what puts food in my family's mouth, right?
Well, you know that because you come from a trucking family now,
That's right.
but not many people do know, and hence we do this show, by the way.
Yeah,
Well, the biggest reason we do this show is we want to tell people what truck drivers do,
of course.
and a
Yeah.
lot of people just think things grow on shelves.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's actually it's crazy to think that there's people that don't understand that these goods get transported across the country or even, internationally,
yeah.
right? But I will say that my opinion of truckers and truck driving from before I met my husband to now has significantly changed. I used to think of them, probably as almost an inconvenience to what the probably regular person who knows nothing about trucking.
Mhm.
Probably I was your typical person, but
Mhm.
once I got to see it firsthand and the sacrifices that these drivers truly make for their families, and the love that they have for something that's so incredibly hard and challenging is next to like it's next level, right?
Mhm.
And just seeing that they want to help, they want to go out of their way to do that extra load, not
Mhm.
only to put food in their families' mouths, but
Mhm.
also, to help out the company and things like that, right? Like it's honestly incredible to see that the trucking community, although it's large, it's small.
It
And
is it's very divided too, I believe.
it is very,
Sometimes.
very divided. Yep.
Like it's in groups, and like you haul dirt, I haul milk.
Yeah.
We have
You
nothing
got your
common.
bull haulers, you got your
Yes,
steel haulers.
yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah. So
Oh,
we
yes.
have, even though we have one thing that is common is the trucks
That's right.
and the transportation, right? So
That's
you
right.
should really pay attention onto that. So Jen, back to the Woodstock Truck Show.
Yep.
So far I have counted. There is the truck show.
Mhm.
So a whole bunch of good-looking trucks come. There is a whole bunch of food.
Yep.
There is music.
Mhm.
You can camp there. That's a
Yep.
big one that I didn't know before. And what else can you see there?
We have vendors. So this year I was very lucky to score it's also a sponsor too, but I was very lucky to score PDI, Performance Diesel, out of the US. They're going to be coming up. They're going to be bringing their entire trailer, and it's quite a setup.
Mhm.
It folds out, and they've got parts in there. They got merch in there. You can go in and see things, talk to them about different ways to enhance their motors and things like that. And they're all around just great people, but that'll be a really interesting thing for our locals to see because again, that's not something that they typically get to see, right?
Mhm.
Or see up firsthand anyway, I should
Mhm.
say. There's still dealers in the area that deal with that deal for PDI, but
Mhm.
to be able to see everything in their setup and will be pretty neat to see. We have also someone that comes that sells Western wear. There's vendors of all kinds, honestly. There's lots going on. We also have 50/50 or not 50/50, sorry, raffle tickets going on. Silent Auction 12 Gauge has donated some things. Trucks Accessories has donated some things for us. And this is all stuff that people can win. Just,
And
buying a
there's truck
ticket.
polls too, right?
The truck pulls. Oh my gosh.
I almost forgot about that, and you
Oh,
forgot about this too.
Well,
The biggest, in my
I
opinion.
have to apologize. I'm
Yeah,
so
no,
sorry.
it's okay.
No, my brother's gonna kill me if he sees this. He'll be like, "You forgot to mention that." No, the truck pulls bring in a huge crowd for us. That was actually the biggest game changer.
And how
for us
many
over
polls
last
happen?
year. How many?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Well, they go from 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. So a lot.
Just like all day.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not only trucks, it's tractors too. The farming community, obviously, my brother has a lot of connections in, and
Mhm.
he was able to bring in some pro mod tractors last year, and they were pretty cool. These are tractors that are specifically built to pull. They're specifically a pulling tractor, and the horsepower out of these things is crazy.
I think before we get into this, I think, Jen, you should explain what truck pull is. To
Truck-
those, you
yeah.
can't expect everybody to know this,
Of
right?
course, yeah. So a truck pull, they they'll load the sled with a certain amount. So there's a sled, they can load it with weight. They'll start with smaller weight and kind of move up the scale as you pull. And so a truck will hook up to it, and then they just try and pull as best they can that sled as far as it will go.
Mhm.
So a lot of it is test of torque and horsepower.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
right.
a lot of just.
And there's
black
a price
smoke
on that too.
I believe
price?
it's $20 a pull, if I remember correctly.
No, but I
Again,
mean, the winner, does they
No, the winner's just bragging rights.
Okay.
Just bragging rights.
Mhm.
I do think there might be a prize this year, though. I know we're still kind of going back and forth with some things. It won't be a cash prize. A lot of polls are cash prizes, but since we're a charity, we want to try and avoid that as much as possible. But I do think there will be a physical prize of some kind. I'm just not sure what that is. But again, I don't know if we have to work out logistics on that still.
Jen, we are going to close the show soon.
Yeah.
So before we go, I want to ask you, where do you see your show going in next 5 years?
The next 5 years, that's, you know what? I really love where we're at now. Just having so much community across North America, the US and Canada. And I would love to see more fleets coming out, more people coming for the polls, stuff like that. But we really can't get a whole lot bigger because we don't have a whole lot more space. So the only option, if we run out of space, is we will have to eventually probably move it to another fairgrounds.
Okay.
Again, you're right. Yeah, again. So I love where it's at now. I would love to see it grow more. What that looks like is a really hard question for me to answer because of the space that we are limited to currently. And we really don't want to move from Burford. That's the thing. So, just increasing vendors, increasing events and things for people to do. Right now, we have also the kids zone on Saturday, so that brings in the families and gives a little something to do while mom and dad watch the polls, stuff like that. So just adding little stuff here and there. I would like to see maybe eventually down the road some bigger headliners. Right, one year we had the Roadhammers and Madeline Merlot. And it just didn't pull in the crowd that we were hoping it to, but that's because we were located in Woodstock. We just didn't. We were kind of already set up to fail in that sense. Didn't raise as much money that year, but that's okay. We still raised some. But eventually, what I'd like to see is that we're pulling in such a crowd that we have the ability to put down the deposit for some bigger headliners eventually down the road, and just bring in a bigger crowd for the concerts. That would be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe eventually an outdoor concert too. Right now they are inside.
It is indoor?
It is indoor, mostly in case it rains, which is nice. But maybe one day we'll get back to outdoor. Who knows, right? There's a lot of unknowns and a lot of just factors in terms of space. But the world is our oyster, right?
And thank you for being here, and thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Your entire team. It's a great cause.
Yep.
It's great entertainment, and at the same time, I believe it does promote trucking.
It does.
The good side of trucking. So if you are one of those person who thinks that truck drivers are on the road to cause problems, you should probably go to the truck show in Woodstock on the 29th and the 30th of May, which is the last weekend of May.
Yep.
And get a chance to talk to these truck drivers and see how they feel and think about, day-to-day life and what kind of sacrifices they make. And thank you for watching the show. We'll catch you guys next Sunday. And do subscribe and like the show and tell us how we did by emailing us. See you next Sunday. If you are one of those truck drivers who is willing to say what they feel and see on the road or anywhere in the trade, please do contact us at info@thetruckstopshow.ca. Write us your phone number and we'll get in touch and bring you on the show.